So here we are, this is the final video of the push-pull legs series which I've been doing. I've shown you push, I've shown you pull, I've shown you some arms. Today I'm going to show you some legs. This routine is pretty demanding, I'm not going to lie. I don't think legs is ever easy. I think we all know that. This routine is pretty demanding. It will take you maybe between an hour 15 minutes depending on how many sets you're doing, but I tend to find my legs do respond very well from higher volume work. Makes sense since there's more slow twitch fibers compared to fast twitch fibers in your lower body, so higher rep work does work. So the first exercise I'm doing is a safety bar squat, similar to a barbell squat, but the distribution of the weight is a little bit different, so it kind of mimics the front squat, hitting the quads more, which is the focus for this exercise. I'm going to start off by doing a couple of warm-up sets, maybe 3 to 4, gradually increasing the weight with each set, doing about 8 to 10 reps. Now, no, that is not the face of a man who's sitting on the toilet, that is the face of a man who is concentrating. What I'm trying to do is to get my quads activated, to turn on the muscles which I'm trying to work in this exercise. Once again, I'm going to up the weight a little bit more, gradually doing it. I don't get it when people spend all the time on the treadmill warming up. If you're going to do some squats, you need to warm up by doing some squats. So once you've reached the target weight which you're going to lift, this is going to be your first working set. So for me, I'm aiming for about 6 to 8 reps. Now when I'm doing this exercise, I'm making sure that I'm in complete control. And what that means is I'm not rapidly going down and de-accelerating too quickly, otherwise I place a lot of tension on my knees. I'm going down slowly, and I find that for me, the optimal depth in my situation will be where my thighs are pretty much parallel to the ground. If I come any lower, my back will round at the bottom and I will move the tension away from my quads onto my lower back, which is not something that I want to do. When driving back up to the top of the movement, keep your chest high, your chin high, and drive with your feet into the ground as hard as you possibly can. You're going to be resting for a little bit longer than you would do usually. For me, I'm aiming for around 2 to 3 minutes rest, making sure that I'm fully recovered so I can go back into the working set and aim for another 8 reps. Moving straight on to the next exercise, this is going to be hamstring and glute focused, giving the quads a little bit of a break. So we're going to start off with the glute ham raise. This might look a little bit funky for quite a lot of people, but it's an extremely good exercise at targeting the hamstring, the glutes, and even your core. And what I'm doing, I'm using one hand because I've kind of built up my strength a little bit. If you are new to this, I would recommend doing it with 2 hands and taking it easy, okay, because you don't want to go straight into this one if your hamstrings are cold. What I'm trying to do as I elevate myself, I'm trying to do so by contracting my hamstrings and my glutes, not by pushing up. So I want to try and use my arms and my hands as little as possible, okay? At the top of the movement, I'm going to contract my hamstrings temporarily and then go back down again. Pretty much straight after that, you're going to rest maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds until you get into position, and we're going to do Romanian deadlifts with the barbell. Now, personally, I don't go too heavy with these. I feel it's very easy for me to place a lot of the tension on my lower back. My lower back is ginormous, to be honest. I really don't want it to get any bigger, so I'm focusing the tension as much as possible on my hamstrings. I'm thrusting my hips backwards as much as possible as I go down, and then once I've reached the point where my hamstrings are fully under tension, they're fully lengthened, I'm then going to pause temporarily, and then I'm going to contract my glutes and hamstrings and thrust forward, spending minimal time at the top until I go back down to the bottom. So we're going to take a slightly shorter rest period compared to the squats, maybe 90 seconds, and then we're going to do around 3 to 4 sets. Now the next exercise which I moved on to was the leg press. I'm doing 6 sets total, okay? So I'm doing 3 sets with my feet narrow at the bottom of the platform, quad focus. I'm going to do 3 sets, my feet at the top of the platform and wide, glute and hamstring focus. So this one, I'm really focusing on my quads. It's not just a matter of pushing the weight backwards and forwards, you've got to think about how you're doing it. So it's very hard to explain. It's something I've had to learn over the years, but I'm trying to initiate the movement by contracting my quads and then temporarily squeezing them at the top, and I'm not locking out. I don't think anyone should ever lock out on the leg press. And as I mentioned before, we do the final 3 sets with a wide stance, feet high on the platform. And it really is different. If you do this right, you can really feel it on your hamstrings and your glutes. So I'm initiating the movement this time by squeezing my glutes and trying to contract my hamstrings. A very different exercise just by changing the placement of your feet. And then went on to lying leg curls. And as you can see, I'm doing it in the body extended position. This basically allows my hamstring to get in a shorter position at the top of the movement. And as my hip is in extension, it basically overloads the top portion of the strength curve. After 6 reps in this position, I would then get into the normal lying position and perform another 6 reps. And you will find that when you do it in the normal position, it's a little bit easier compared to doing it with your body extended. After doing these 12 reps in total, I'd then move straight on to the leg extension. This time I was doing 1 leg at a time. I'm going to do 12 reps on each leg. Again, what I'm trying to do is just really squeeze the contraction at the top of the movement. I'm really aiming to lock out at the top. I'd move straight into the other leg, aiming to do another 12 reps, and I would only have about 20 seconds of recovery after doing this before I go straight back into the leg curl. The final exercise is a Bulgarian split squat on the Smith machine. So basically, your back leg is going to be elevated, your front foot is going to be reasonably far out in front of you because the focus of this exercise is to target the glutes and the hamstrings. So foot positioning is important. And I'm using the Smith machine simply because there's only one range of motion, and that's up and down. So I don't have to worry too much about stabilizing myself. So I can really overload my muscles with additional weight and just really focus on driving up. So what I'm doing, I'm going down to the point where I'm pretty much getting maximum stretch in my right hamstring and glute. I'm coming all the way down to the bottom where my left knee pretty much touched the ground. Then I'm going to have a temporary rest after 10 to 12 reps, because if you try and go straight into the other leg after you've done one leg, you pretty much fail almost immediately. So I like to have that 20-second rest before going into the other leg, because it allows me to really get the most of it. So as you can see, all the way down, driving up as hard as I can by contracting my glute and my hamstring. I'm really not trying to engage too much of my quad in this exercise. So there we go, guys, that is the routine. Pretty tasty if you ask me. I'll put the full routine in the description box below, so check that out and try it for yourself. Thank me later. I don't think your legs will be thanking you. You may be sore for a couple of days after this one, but being sore is good. It's a good thing. It's good. If I'm not sore after legs, I'm questioning how hard I went on leg day. You got to go hard, but you got to train smart at the same time as well, like I said. So I'm going to be following this split maybe for 1 more week, 2 more weeks. It's been good. I've seen some positive results from this. I've enjoyed it. It's a good routine, push-pull legs, with a little bit of arms as well. It's good. It's working for me. It's good. As always, if you have any questions about the routine, just drop a comment below and I'll do my very best to get back to you. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to see some of my latest videos. And that's it from me. Enjoy your day.